FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
The other thing that Zynga is supposed to have taught us in the last couple of years is that social games are somehow amazing and magical. But I have a little secret to let you in on. Throughout the whole arc of human history, games were predominantly social. Games have always been social. Games have principally been social. If you think about the games that are most enduring, the game designs that are still with us after hundreds or thousands of years, the ones that have the greatest level of engagement, I'm just going to throw a few out. You can put your own in there. Dominoes, poker, mahjong, bridge. What do you notice about those games? It's people playing together, the game as context. It doesn't mean that people are not competitive. That's not what that means. I'm not saying people don't care about winning. The socializing, though, is the most important element of it. Bridge isn't a ton of fun if the players are changing every single game, right? That's not how that game is designed. It's not the context. And I remember this so fondly. It's Friday nights at our house, or Saturday nights at our house, growing up. My mom and her Jewish housewife friends playing mahjong all night long. And it was over the din of clacking tiles. Them talking, right? That's a game of mahjong. It's talking, click, 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 game in the background. That is the dominant form of play that people want to do. And so, to a great extent, and with some degree of irony, it is the computer games business, the one that's taught us so much about gamification, that's the exception, not the rule. It's 1977 when our notion of what a game is and what social play looks like changed. What we do now, the types of things that we kind of talk about, the sorts of games that we're most patterned on, are actually the ones that look most like the games before 1977. They resemble them really in many interesting ways. And so everything old is new again. And at the heart of this, one of the key kind of pieces of research that drives our understanding of this is what are called Bartle's player types, or the player motivations. And this is from Richard Bartle's original work on what motivates people to play massively multiplayer online games. And he defined 4 player types: the killer, the achiever, the explorer, and the socializer. And he didn't intend this to be a personality inventory, though I have to tell you that I've started to work with some folks at Stanford on turning this into an MBTI-style personality inventory. That's not what Bartle intended. However, now that we've got some game thinking under our belts, let's be honest, we can all name an achiever, a killer, a socializer, an explorer in our social circle, right? It starts to work as a pretty good personality test. And I've been giving it, by the way, to people casually. So if you'd like me to give you the Bartle test, and that's not a euphemism for hooking up, if you'd like for me to give you the Bartle test, by all means, let's hang out. So the interesting thing about Bartle's test is that, and if you take it, if you take the game version, the pure play game version online, there's actually there's a number of different, you can score on each one of these vectors. They're not mutually exclusive vectors. But one thing that seems obvious when we look at the way that the world actually is that the vast majority of people are socializer types. They're driven by the desire to socialize with other people. And there's all that great and interesting work on how Americans are fundamentally lonely that, that I hear about a lot, that the average American says they have 2 real friends and 200 friends on Facebook. The socializer is the principal driver, and that's, to a great extent, as we understand and we unpack human motivation for the purpose of gamification design, this is one of the key things.